Hey everybody, it's Mike Frieder with On-Call Compliance Solutions, and I'm back with another compliance tip of the week. Yeah, here we go. All right, this week we're talking about DFARS, NIST SP 800-171, and CMMC. What executives must know about being compliant? Because you know what? I'm an executive, and if I had never heard of this stuff before, there's a lot that I would need to know. So I'm going to dig it to you into this video. All right, let's go. So hey, if you're a defense contractor who's feeling overwhelmed, tired, and alone, trying to understand all this DFARS, NIST SP 800-171, and CMMC compliance stuff, I've got great news for you. You found your home here at On-Call Compliance Solutions, where we can help you transform into your company's on-call compliance hero. Let's jump into it. So what's up, you guys? Today I'm making a very, very special video that I hope you find useful and should share with your executives and decision makers in order to help you have a much easier time explaining to them what's going on with all of this DFARS, NIST SP 800-171, and CMMC stuff, and why they actually need to get involved in this one. Now I gotta tell you, On-Call has been consulting with a lot of large companies. We've probably done about 4 or 5 different multi-billion-dollar companies just in the last month, okay? Again, really appreciate the love. You guys love the referrals and cannot thank you enough for it. We do a lot of big business across the world. And you know, with those bigger businesses, we find that the executives need a lot of help. They need a lot of education. They're very, very numbers focused. The bigger the company, the more they focus on the numbers and metrics. And for some reason, the sort of logic of what's going on with compliance falls by the wayside sometimes, right? CEOs get a more and more narrow focus on driving the numbers, and they rely on outside compliance people or inside compliance people to really drive it home. So one way or another, whether you're a one-person business or whether you're someone in a multi-billion-dollar business, let me tell you what, there's a couple things that I think the executive should know. All right, so from one executive to another, I'd say let's dive in. So first thing I want to say is that I myself am a president and CEO of a company. Okay, so I'm going to talk about all of this from that perspective because I think industry-wide there's a tendency to pass off compliance onto a lower level set of IT people, managers, etc. The problem is that compliance is an all hands on deck endeavor that will succeed or fail based on the leadership support. Sorry, but it just won't work without the leaders putting their weight behind this. And this is number one lesson, okay? Compliance will not work without the executives getting behind this, okay? So I think it's really important that be understood. I have sat through so many, countless meetings where we talk about how to get executives and managers behind the compliance effort with those who are doing the actual work, to the point where I've realized that they just have to be involved in the conversation. An executive wrap-up is not enough. If they're controlling the resources, then they have to also buy in to understand the effects of these requirements. And again, I'll give you a classic example, which is a lot of times getting compliant itself requires a kind of internal champion for the company. And it's that champion's job to make a good enough pitch to have the company actually follow in and get compliant. That's the reality, right? There's no logic of, hey, by the way, legal approved us signing this contract that you have to be DFARS compliant, and get with this compliance and security standard, and that's going to take backing. They're like, nah, we won the business. Let's just sign the contract, whatever it takes. Just sign it. Get the business people in here. Sales team's going, hoorah, we won. And they don't realize the mess that they've created there. So again, it's so important that executives really understand this because it's their reputation and their company's on the line here. So hopefully by now we have the executives in front of the screen. So I'm going to tell you, if you are a person who is not an executive and you know you're going to need executive buy-in, go send this video to them. Or even better, hit the pause button. First, hit the like button. Smash the like button, as a matter of fact. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, subscribe to the channel while we're at it. Hit the pause button. Go get your executives, okay? Go get the person that needs to see this video, replay the first half to them, and then let's go. Because I'm going to give you exactly what the executives need to understand, okay? Number one, getting compliant with DFARS, NIST SP 800-171, and CMMC is required by law. By the way, let me back up for a second. Why should you go get your executives? Okay, why should they be a part of this conversation with me today? Because it'll make your job as someone who knows they need to get compliant so much easier, because I'll talk to the executives for you and explain exactly what it is that they need to understand from their perspective. All right, so cool. Hopefully executives are here. I'll snap my fingers, unpause the video, boom, let's get them in the room. Number one, getting compliant with DFARS, NIST, SP 800-171, and CMMC is required by law. whenever you are performing defense work. It's just that simple, okay? If you're even aware that you're doing defense work, this applies to you. There just is no way around it. It doesn't even have to be in your contract, okay, per the Christian doctrine. If you have been made aware of these requirements via a flow down clause in your contract or a direct contract with the DoD or Department of Energy for NASA, or NASA, then tag, you're it, baby. You got the requirement, all right? And that's kind of like how it works, right? You just got flowed down, like standing in the middle of a hill in winter and there's an avalanche coming your way, boom, you got to be compliant, all right? You're on the hook for this, no matter how small the dollars are, okay? You cross the line, there's nothing you can do. You just have to understand that you're either compliant or you're not. You're either following the law or you're not, and it doesn't matter what the size of the dollars are, okay? There's no like, man, we're doing $1 million worth of defense business, so now I think I'll start getting compliant. That's not how this works. The penalties are massive, okay? You got to think triple the damages, okay? So if you got $1 million contract on the line, it's going to be a $3 million fine if you're not compliant with this. That's the law, okay? And a lot more, okay? Against the entire amount of your contract, $11,000 fines per piece of CUI that gets out or per incident, and even being debarred from doing business with the government just for checking the box saying you are compliant when you're not. Yuck! Like, seriously, guys, yuck. Nobody wants to do that, all right? Nobody wants to deal with DOJ lawyers with an unlimited legal budget. All right, last thing you want is the government coming after you. That's not good. Now, enough scare tactics. That's not why you're here, and I know you want to do the right thing anyway, and that's why you're watching this video. So number 3 is if you are an executive of a company that is not entirely focused on defense, and this is all new to you, well, let me tell you, check out some of our other videos, especially the ones on growth, and you will quickly realize that getting compliant is really the first step to be qualified for defense work, and that the defense space is an absolute incredible place to bring in big time revenue, all right? Very reliable, ongoing work. It's pandemic proof, it's natural disaster proof. Your workers become essential workers, which is highly advantageous, and there's no better client in the world than the U.S. Department of Defense, who, by the way, does not even have an official restricted budget. It just doesn't exist. It's just like, it's just kind of, hey, we can spend as much money as we want because we're the government, we print money, and this is to defend that. I mean, what other client do you have? Like, really, go back, look at your accounting system. What other client do you have that has never even asked about reducing prices or spending with you? All right, it's brilliant. All right, it's like the only client that I would ever go after. Okay, now, number 4, today, there are less defense contractors than ever before and more money in defense work than ever before. Now, that makes you scratch your head a little bit, but let me tell you, that's the kind of market I want to go after myself, all right? Now, if you're a business leader or if you're an executive, I don't care what kind of executive you are, you care about that kind of stuff. I want to go into a market where there's less competition every year and more money every year, and that's where I'm going to win. I love having very little competition, and I love that there are dollars in large increments to go after. It's just an awesome space to build a business. And, I said it, it's not in my script right here, but I will say the coolest part about defense to me is the fact that the dollar increments are not small. They're big dollar increments. You don't need to win a whole lot of defense work from a prime. It is going to be a lot of dollars almost every time, okay? And there's always more. You just have to ask. Now, number 5, speaking of business, by the way, if you don't know where to find it, give us a call. All right, we'll get you compliant, and then we'll show you where to look. Because believe me, we wrote the blueprint on how to grow a defense business. Why? Because we have hundreds and hundreds of defense businesses as clients, and guess what we've gotten to see them do over the last 7 or 8 years, all right? Or really like over our 21-year history in business. You get to watch the best of the best do what they do. Now, speaking of business, let's talk valuation, okay? Simply put, businesses in the defense space currently have much higher multiples of EBITDA, or profit, valuation than the equivalent private sector businesses. Hold on, Mike, you're starting to really go business deep here. And you're right, I'm not going to talk about compliance. I'm going to talk about why you need to get compliant, why it's silly and stupid not to be compliant. I'm going to make the business case, so we got to use businessy words. I feel like I'm talking to a toddler here. Maybe I should be like, I'm going to use big words. Watch out. Here comes a big word. It's over 4 letters, but here it comes. All right. No, seriously, EBITDA, right? If you don't even know what EBITDA means, you should Google it because it's a really, really important word, and it's probably why you have a job. All right. Again, the profit valuation than the equivalent private sector business, okay? If you've got a company that makes widgets, all right, and they sell them to the private sector. You take that same company, sell those widgets to in the defense industry. Your company's literally worth like double or triple, okay, in most cases. It's really just kind of that simple, right? Defense businesses are highly attractive because of the long-term spending outlook. The U.S., God bless our country, is not exactly going to not be involved in significant warfare anytime soon. It's a great time to jump in and take advantage of that because, hey, if you don't, somebody else will, like your competition. Or maybe your brother, I don't know. Number 6, now, we all know that compliance is here to make you more secure. Okay, that's a good thing, all right? You may not like it, but being more secure, believe me, it's a good thing. And for good reason. We all know by watching the news that cyber attacks are up, okay? You literally watch the news, guarantee they're talking about a ransomware attack somewhere on Good Morning America this morning. That's bad for business and makes things messy, to say the least. As executives, it is imperative that we have a safe-to-operate business, and distractions like ransomware and information system breach are massive distractions to the goal of growth and making money. Nothing stops growth more than a giant cyber attack, okay? It's really hard to keep on making more sales while your whole staff's freaking out about whether or not they're getting their paycheck tomorrow because their network just disappeared. Not good. Now, by getting compliant and implementing the security controls in NIST SP 80171, we become inherently more stable, and that's the whole point and purpose of this requirement by the DoD. They need a stable supply chain during times of attack. That means they need you to get with it. Number 7, by far, okay, my absolute favorite thing to teach our clients is how to leverage compliance as the ultimate secret weapon to growing with more defense business and higher profit margins. Yes, that is right. Compliance and having superior security is literally as high or higher on the DoD's decision-making matrix than price alone. I know what you may be saying. Oh, it's lowest price technically acceptable, fixed cost. No, that's basically been thrown in the garbage can because they figured out getting cheap stuff doesn't work, okay? Nobody wants the cheapest solution, definitely not our Department of Defense, okay? Especially in defense world. Even for subcontractors, 7 tiers down, it doesn't matter. Security is an absolute competitive differentiator and a demonstration that you are going to make for a good and reliable partner. It's key to the relationship in the defense world and something that will absolutely pay dividends. This is what we train our clients on once they have been compliant, and something we love to put into action and watch them grow, baby. All right. If you are not leveraging compliance and security across your sales messaging, you are missing out on dramatic growth opportunities. And I totally get it. It's not intuitive. You're not going to find it anywhere else on the internet. We are the only company in the world that teaches this. And I really just cannot emphasize enough that if you want to get all of this stuff taken care of, if you want to get compliant and have it ultimately long-term not cost you anything and actually become a profit center, if you're looking for a way to grow your business, this is it. Now, number 8, right now your team is missing clear written policies and SOPs. In virtually all companies that I have ever walked into, documentation was the number one area they were totally deficient in. In today's world of heavy computer usage, you have to have proper documentation of both your systems and your policies in order to proactively set forth a policy on what team members can and can't do with their computers. Otherwise, they will run literally begin to cause chaos. They'll run amok. It's supposed to say run amok. It really says run amok. I don't know about you. I personally would love to do a little munching myself. It's about lunchtime, but maybe somebody can fix my script and actually start to run amok on my script. All right, anyways, otherwise, they will run amok and literally begin to cause chaos, right? They'll just install whatever they want. They'll do whatever they want. They'll say silly things in email. They'll start opening and clicking on everything, all right? Love my end users, but you got to protect them. It's just part of the business and of the things that need to be done. Number 9, audits. Audits can happen at any time and without warning. Okay, so if you're doing defense work, I don't care if you're a 7th one down on the list, subcontractor, whatever. All right, you are right there and in line for an audit. You just don't know when it's going to be your number called. Okay, this is by design, and you need to be compliant and have everything in order so that when an audit comes, it does not become a massive disruption to the work you have going on. We've seen failed audits result in 9 months or longer in delays in work and payments. it's basically impossible to plan for an unexpected 9-month delay in cash flow. Like, I don't know about you, if you're an executive, right? Can you imagine just like, I don't know, the cash flow on your defense project dries up for 9 months while they figure out if you're even safe to do business with? Because that's what happens, okay? The shortest one we're aware of, 9 months. It was pretty ugly, okay? Remediation efforts were heavy and expensive. So don't be unprepared, okay? If you don't know who to turn to help, look at my face. We're it. We can help. All right. Seriously, I'll give you some information at the end of the video. You can check the description for links to our website. But ultimately, there's just really no excuse anymore. Okay. Number 10, as fellow executives, one thing that we have to be very careful about is how we set the example. Yeah, that's me. I got to set a good example. All right. I didn't used to think of myself as a very good example. I was probably the worst example in business. But as it turns out, you know what? Sometimes you just got to be the man to beat the man. And at the end of the day, if you're an executive, people are watching you. If you cast this compliance stuff to the side, that's what they're going to do. If you take it seriously, that's what they're going to do. And you got to take it seriously because it's the law. So look, as fellow executives, one thing that we have to be very careful about is how we set the example. I have a saying, which is how you do anything is how you do everything. What that means is that if your team sees you ignoring this, guess what they're going to start doing? They're going to start ignoring not just compliance, they're going to start ignoring everything, okay? Ignoring whatever it is that they don't like. And that is going to obviously cause instability and chaos and disorganization. Yuck. Don't go there. It's just, you got to be conscious of this stuff, you guys. That's how to be a good executive, okay? Be wary of this. As a leader, you set the example about how to follow rules and conduct yourself. Now, I could honestly go on and 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 on. Like, I don't know, 500-600 videos on YouTube worth of on and on and on. So you guys know I'm telling the truth. All right. But at the end of the day, this is a ton of value and hopefully something that is helpful for executives to begin to understand the way to view compliance when it comes to doing defense work. If you've been watching these videos and your company is struggling to get compliant or has been spending months on it, I want to let you know there's a way better way forward, okay? It's just so much better way, okay? I was going to say there's a better way, but, it's probably not the best English right there. Anyway, I was going somewhere with that, and let's be honest, I probably should proofread these scripts at some point. But it's way more fun when I don't proofread them, right? Because talking about compliance is exciting. All right, I was going to say there's a better way, but it is actually kind of exciting. I mean, I love doing it. I hope you guys like watching it. I mean, I like making these videos. They're kind of fun. It's the fun part of my week. But, it's probably not the best English. And I'm talking to the boss, right? Like, hey, really? You're the boss. You're the man. You are the man. And you know what? Hey, if it's been a little while, go to the bathroom, go look in the mirror, tell yourself, I'm the man. Because, you're an executive, right? That's who I'm in front of. So why not? It's okay. You can pat yourself on the back. You earned it. Little corner office, nice window to look out of. You're the man. It just means you got to be the man. Okay, so look, if your team has been working on this for months or years and they still don't have it right, then guess what? We can help, okay? And we can help and literally get this done for you in a matter of days, okay? Not weeks, not like several months, all right? If you've got a goal and it's going to take you several months to get there, there's probably a better way to do it, okay? Just my experience in business, but we also have an exploding double-digit growth type of thing going on. And I mean, we hired like 5 new people in January and we're just a little teeny business. Look, at the end of the day, what I can tell you is this, there's a better way. Okay. Again, depending upon how many facilities you can have, we can take care of this in days for you. Yes, it's hundreds of pages of confusing legalese and techno mumbo jumbo, but we've been through it once or 1,000 times. All right. We've developed a system to get it done for you in just days. Why? Because at On Call, this is what we do. We take defense contractors just like you, executives just like you, who have had this DFARS, NIST, CMMC, ITAR, and EAR information, security compliance stuff dropped in their laps like a seagull on a sunny day. And we teach you how to level up and be a proper on-call compliance hero for your company, eliminating gaps, gray areas, and getting this solved, all while showing you how to leverage compliance as your secret weapon to land more defense work with higher profit margins. Yes! All right, now that's what becoming an on-call compliance hero can do for you. By the way, if you're the executive, look to your left, look to your right. The guy that drug you in here to watch my silly little video, that's your compliance hero. Now all you got to do is support him. How do you do that? Look, go to cmmccompliancesecrets.com or check the description below on this video for links to get help right now. Your hero needs support. Even Batman needs Robin, baby. All right, go to cmmccompliancesecrets.com. Check out the description below. And if you love the content that we're putting out here, or even me just going on and off on my script because it's really small print, my eyes are getting back, so I'm getting older, and it's really more fun when I actually can't read this thing straight. Well, guess what? Smash the like button. Subscribe to our channel. We're going to come out with all kinds of amazing, up-to-date news, events. We're going to educate your executives. We're going to educate the IT guys. We're going to educate the general counsels. We're going to educate everybody, and we're going to teach them about compliance. We're going to teach them what they need to know. And then, you know what? We're not going to pull any punches. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it right here on YouTube. And if you get to a point where you're like, Mike, this is super overwhelming, I don't have time to go watch 500 of your videos, that's when you go to our website. That's when you self-schedule with one of our certified compliance experts. It costs you nothing to do it, and we can help. So, until the next compliance tip, my friends, stay safe and secure out there. Hit us in the comments below. You know the routine. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Support us. We don't exactly get paid to do these videos, I'll tell you that, but we're putting all that knowledge out there for free when nobody else will. And what I can tell you is, I will see you on the next one. Thanks so much for joining in, and thanks for lassoing in that executive that's sitting right next to you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and you know what? We are here to support you being safer, secure, and doing more defense work. Let's do it together. I'll see you on the next one.